Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I am making some prep ahead freezer meals. So these are all chicken based. This is my haul from Muscle Foods. I bought 5 kilos of chicken to make all my freezer meals with, and I like to get chicken from there because I can just buy quite a lot for a good price. So these are the meals that I am making. Got jambalaya, harlequin chicken, honey soy chicken, and sweet peach chicken. So these are the large freeze bags from Sainsbury's. So here I've chopped all the chicken, all 5 kilos of it. I've done some where there's 3 chicken breasts that are diced, somewhere there's 2, then I've bagged them all up as I want them for meals, and I'm going to put them in the freezer. Then I put the chicken in 4 bags there to make my meals. So I chopped each of those chicken breasts, I think, into 4 pieces or something, and they're all ready to go. I think I used 3 chicken breasts for 3 of them and 2 chicken breasts for the jambalaya. And that was to feed 3 people plus leftovers, because I wasn't really sure how much chicken we would need. So I'm just showing you what I do with my freezer, what I've got in there. As you can see, there's some homemade sauces, butternut squash and red pepper. There's some mince there. This is my meat drawer. So if you have seen my freezer organization video, you will know that I have separate drawers for separate things. So this is like the raw meats. Obviously I've still got some chicken left. I've got meat from the butcher's left. Anything I've bought from the shop, the meat goes in there. And then I also like to put things I've made in there as well. So leftover dinners, obviously the sauces. So now I'm just going to repack this drawer nice and just get as much as possible in there, because I have all the new chicken to put in as well. So all those sauces, the passatas I'd made, the minces, all that is all going in. And then I'm just going to put in the newest chicken obviously first at the bottom, because I need to use the oldest chicken first. So I'm flattening all the chicken out in bags and laying it flat rather than having like blocks of chicken that take up a lot of space. So I'm laying them on the bottom, and then I'm putting the whole chicken breast that I'd bagged up. I didn't really like having the whole breasts. I think I prefer them chopped in the freezer, ready to go when I need them. So that drawer really helped. We didn't like these sausages, so I gave them to someone else. Okay, so these are all the ingredients that we need. Don't forget, this is for 4 different chicken dishes. So I've got some chicken stock for 1. I have peppers for either 3 or 4 recipes. Got 3 of the bags of chicken here ready. One I'm going to cook today, and that's the one I'm going to put the hot stock in. Obviously do not put hot chicken stock or any kind of stock into a bag of raw meat and then put it straight in the freezer or whatever. I would not suggest doing that. It will start to cook the chicken very quickly. So I've got 3 of the bags of chicken all separated out. I have 3 chicken breasts per bag. That's to serve 3 people and hopefully leftovers. I'm going to see how the portions go. Right, I have gluten-free soy sauce, just so that all the children can then have this. Honey, ketchup. Oh, I forgot all the peppers. Chopped up a ton of peppers. Onions, that was 3 onions. I've got a tin of peaches for 1 recipe, and then we just have a mixture of different things: tarragon, lemon juice, ginger, garlic powder, frozen garlic, tin tomatoes. You can use fresh garlic obviously, but I have frozen garlic, so I'm not going to sit here chopping up garlic. Same goes for ginger. I do not buy fresh ginger because I wouldn't use most of it. It'd get thrown away. So I just buy frozen ginger. Makes life a lot easier. There is a couple more spices that I forgot to pick up, but I will show you as I'm doing each recipe. But as you can see, they use similar ingredients, so this was really handy. So let's get on to the first one. So I have my trusty bag holder. These make life a lot easier when you're doing things like this. Move everything out the way for a second. So I'm going to start off with honey soy chicken. I've already written on the bag so I know what it is and the date. This is actually quite heavy. So you want a decent size sandwich bag just to put everything in. And this recipe says to add all the stuff in. So let's see what we need. Right, so we need 1 onion diced. I'm not going to dice my onions. I'm following this recipe obviously for the flavours and stuff, but I'm just going to do it the way I want to do it. This is going in a slow cooker, so I don't want to dice things too small because I don't think they're going to cook properly. I've had some issues with slow cookers before. Right, 2 garlic cloves crushed. So again, I'm just going to have to guess what 2 garlic cloves would look like. But we like garlic, so that's fine. Right, garlic. Right, it wants 170 grams of honey. I'm not going to sit there measuring out 170 grams. That's just ridiculous. So I'm just going to put some in. Let's do 1. So 170 grams would be quite a lot because this whole jar is 500. So obviously wants quite a bit of honey in there. So I'm doing 3 massive tablespoons of honey. Okay. And it wants 170 millilitres of soy sauce. I will measure this out obviously because you don't want to overdo it with things like that. Again, that's quite a lot. It's a lot of soy sauce. Okay, so that is also going into the bag. So basically with this recipe you put everything in the bag except for the noodles. So you would cook them separately and just serve them with noodles. Okay, what is next? 85 grams of ketchup. Again, I'm not going to measure that. Feel free, if you want to, measure it and have it all as it should be in the recipe. I am not that kind of person that's going to sit here getting out scales to weigh silly amounts of things, so I am literally going to guess, which you may think that's really bad, and I'll let you have your opinion on that because it may well be. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Right, it also says 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili flakes. Kids aren't mad on these. I'm not going to put that much in. I'm literally just going to put in a tiny sprint. That's all I'm doing because the kids won't love that. And then 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. The closest thing I have to vegetable oil is sunflower oil, so I will put in some of that. Again, I'm not measuring it. Mostly because I can't, because this comes out so slow. Come on. Yeah, definitely have to take that nozzle off and wash it. It's obviously blocked. Okay, so that is our first recipe done. As you can see, that was extremely quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrunch this all up, rub it all in, and it will start to marinade nicely. Like I said, these are all going in the freezer apart from one. One we are going to have for dinner tonight. So now that is all mushed up, I'm going to get all the air out. And then seal that up nicely. Okay. Number 1, done. Sweet peach chicken. So if I haven't already said in this video, I can't remember, I've cut the chicken breasts into 4 pieces each. So these pieces of chicken are quite large, okay? It's said to dice it on these menus, but I can't imagine cooking, you know, chicken in a slow cooker for up to 8 hours. And this is chicken breast as well, it's not chicken thigh. And it being tiny little pieces, I'd imagine they would be overcooked. Right, sweet peach chicken. So it wants 2 peppers. Again, I can't really measure it out because I have cut them, but that's probably about 2. 1 onion. So I prepped all of this veg in one go, ready for all 4 of the recipes. Also wants a tin of peaches. Now I have chopped these peaches into smaller pieces because I don't know if they're going to hold up their size and shape when they're slow cooked, but I also am not sure my kids are going to like them. So if I did them quite small, then they're not as noticeable and hopefully they'll look like a piece of chicken. Okay, so we want a tablespoon of ginger. A tablespoon of ginger. Then we need 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job I picked up more soy sauce. Okay. Next is, so we need 2 tablespoons of some brown sugar. This is the one that I have, so I'm going to use this, but I should think you could use any sort of brown sugar. And some black pepper. It says a teaspoon. Again, I'm just going to guess. Right, and that is done. I've just noticed it said to put the peach juice in as well, which I didn't do because I got them out and cut it. But it is what it is. So again, try and smush it up a little bit. Sometimes you might actually have to ziplock the bag up with the air in it just to move everything around. Sometimes you can do it without doing that, but this is not one of those times. Get that all moved around, all munged up.
What other things can you serve for afternoon meal now we are sat on the table?
Bless you! Bless you! Those drinks. But I said you've got half a bottle each and you have to drink out of the same bottle at the same time. Right, so that is that one. Please remember to put your peach juice in. I don't know how much difference that's going to make now that I don't have it. Might be a little bit drier, I suppose. I might add in some stock or something when I do that one, but that is another one done. Right, number 3, Harlequin chicken. Alright, so it's 1 onion, 3 peppers for this one. Don't know why it needs so many peppers. There we go. Tin of tomatoes. I've just got one 400-gram tin. So for this one we need 3 teaspoons of tarragon. 1, 2, 3. 2 teaspoons of the garlic powder. Garlic powder. Oh, blimey. This stuff don't go on the spoon. Okay. And then we want 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice. It also says to put in fresh parsley, but I don't have any, so I will get some for the day when I cook this one. So again, just smush it all up. I don't make some mess of the bag, but it's really good just to get it marinating. And obviously you can put these in the freezer, or you can marinate them and eat them the next day or the day after, whatever you want to do. So that is that one done. There we go. Right, and the last one. So it's chicken jambalaya. So this one will be used today, because the other ones say not to put the rice in with it when you're freezing it for the slow cooker, but this one said to put the rice in, so I'm really unclear of whether you can put rice in it or not to freeze it and then slow cook it. But obviously I'm not doing that now anyway, so I'm just going to put the rest of the onion in. So 1 onion, 1 pepper, put those in. I won't be eating these dinners. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to a few of these ingredients, so I can't eat any of these. So when it comes to testing and trialing them, I'm going to have to solely rely on the children and their opinions. So I've got 3 children to eat them. They all have like different taste buds, like different things. So it'd be interesting to see who likes it, who doesn't, etc. And then if any of these are really successful, I'm going to actually make these and batch prepare them and put them in the freezer, so I have freezer meals for every week. Right, so we need paprika, 2 tablespoons. Yeah, so this is all basically to help me have meals ready for days where I struggle to cook, you know, when I'm out at dinner time, things like that. So this is why I started doing this, and obviously it doesn't really matter too much to me because I can't eat it. It doesn't really matter. This is something I could put in the slow cooker and the kids can dish it up for themselves and eat it. So again, we want 2 tablespoons of garlic. Just to add, my children are not young, just in case you're thinking, oh no, leaving her children on their own and they have to fend for themselves and make their own dinner. And no, I have adult children here, and my youngest child's just about turned 13. So they're not little. Okay, so that's the garlic. This recipe also needs a tin of tomatoes. Okay, so we need some rice for this recipe, and I'm going to put this on now in the slow cooker, so I'm definitely putting this in the bag. It says 500 grams. I'm not going to measure it out because that's half of this bag. So I'm just going to try and get half. So I've never actually made a slow cooker jambalaya before. I have made jambalaya, but on the stove. Back when I wasn't allergic to tomatoes. Absolutely loved it. Pretty sure the kids liked it as well. So this is handy actually having it for the slow cooker. Like I said, I can just do this, prepare it, and then I will just throw them in the slow cooker in the morning and dinners are done. Right, 700 mils of stock. I've done chicken stock. And this is probably still warm, but because it's about to go in the slow cooker, I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to get a spoon in there to stir this. Obviously that's too much liquid to start throwing the bag around. So I'm just going to stir it up and I'm going to throw it in the slow cooker. So those are the recipes that I've prepped today. I think it has taken me all of about 10 minutes of chopping and prepping, and probably 10 minutes again of just assembling them all. So there we go. I'm going to show you once it's in the slow cooker. So here it all is in the slow cooker. I'm just about to put that on. I think I'm going to have to do it on high because I'm on a time limit. So it says high 4 to 6 hours, I think. Okay, so it is Thursday again, and this was the reason for doing the frozen food prep dinners, was so that when I'm at college later, the kids have a dinner ready made for them. All they need to do is dish it up. So because last week's chicken dinner was such a disaster, because I put the rice in the slow cooker with the chicken, which was what it said to do. Half the rice was completely annihilated. It was just mush. And the rest of it was raw rice, all stuck all over the chicken. So obviously nobody ate it. I think they salvaged like a few pieces of chicken. They tried it, the flavour was nice, but it was just a complete waste. So I will never put rice in with the chicken again until I learn how to do it properly. Because it didn't say to stir it or anything. It obviously needed a lot of stirring, maybe. That's the problem. I'm not sure. I added in a little bit of extra water at one point because it looked really dry, and obviously the rice I could see looked raw. I didn't realise the rice underneath was really cooked. Anyway, this is on a tea towel because it's defrosting, and I've had it in some cold water to try and help it along. So I was going to do it frozen because that's what the recipe says to do, but I realised this will not fit in my slow cooker in this shape. So I had to like start defrosting it. I don't think it really matters, it's not fully defrosted. So anyway, I'm going to put this in my slow cooker and I'm going to set it on now. It's about 12 o'clock. I should have had it on already, but anyway, I'm going to do this, and then the kids can do some rice and they can cook that themselves, or they can do microwave rice, so it's up to them. Okay, so I've put this lid on this time. This is a lid for slow cooking, sauteing and stuff, rather than the pressure function. So last week I used the pressure lid. Didn't think it'd be a problem because I think as long as it's got a lid on it, it should be fine. It probably wasn't a problem, but now I'm wondering. So this one I would usually use. So I've dug it out the cupboard using this lid. I'm not actually going to put water in it yet because I realised it's frozen, so water will come out of it, so I'll check it in a little while. So I'm going to go for slow cook. So I'm guessing, well, this says less, normal, more. We want more, and then I'm going to set it for 6 hours, but it should only need 4. But then it says 4 to 6 hours on high and 8 to 10 hours on low or something, so that should be good. So that is now setting up, and that 6 hours has started. So I'm going to keep an eye on this while I'm in today, because this is the whole point of a slow cooker meal, right? Obviously you can throw it in the morning, you can go out all day and go to work, you can do whatever you need to do, come home and it's done. That meal last week obviously needed constant stirring, which defeats the point of having a slow cooker meal. I'm not going to be here all day. I'm not going to be here at dish up time either. I will try and get one of the kids to video it as they've dished it up, but like, it's difficult because this is my YouTube, it's not my kids. I can't really ask them to do things like they just want to dish up their dinner and eat. You know, like sometimes when I'm filming the you know, what we're eating in a week kind of thing, I feel a little bit mean, sort of like not making them wait for their dinner because they haven't even come down the stairs for it, but I'm just sort of thinking like, I'm standing there with their dinner, so I don't want to ask them to film it. If they're happy to do a quick, this is what it looks like, you might get like 3 seconds of what it looks like, but I will try and remember to video this later when I get a minute, just see what stage it's at then. All right. Right, I've just given it another stir. This is at 3.5 hours in. Just going to get the chicken out just to see if it's tender or not. It smells lovely, but it doesn't look particularly appetizing, as one of the kids just said, but it smells good. Right, so I just took a little bit out just to see how the chicken's doing. It's looking nice and moist, so I'm actually going to turn it off now. That took 3.5 hours from partially frozen. Kids have tried a bit of chicken, they said it's lovely, so I'm going to dish it up. Here it is, all dished up. It's quite pale. Obviously got the vibrancy from some of the red. She didn't want any the peppers. But yeah, it's all dished up for 2 now, and then the other 2 will have some later. So I'm just going to keep it warm for a bit. This has been in for 3.5 hours this week. I decided to do it on low rather than high. I'm not sure how it's gonna you know, if there's any difference to how the chicken comes out, like the texture or anything. I've got no idea. So my initial observations, it's a very weird colour. It's almost like pink. A lot of liquid. It smells quite pleasant though. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to see how the chicken's doing. So the kids absolutely loved this dinner. It was really, really nice. They didn't care that the sauce was a bit pink. They really enjoyed it. And again, this was about 2.5, 3 hour cooking mark. And it was just really, really good. The problem I'm having is leaving it on the keep warm setting. Obviously, the chicken does get overdone, which is obviously a little bit of a shame. But this one went down really, really well. And for the last one, which is coming up in just a second, I didn't get to film anything. Luckily, my daughter did film a tiny bit. This is the honey soy chicken. And as you can see, there was egg noodles with that. And the kids really enjoyed that one. Amelia said it was the best one out of all of them. Her absolute favourite. She would have liked some baby corn and mange tout in there, which I think would be a great addition as well. So I will bear that in mind for next time, that I would add that in, well, I don't know if you'd add it in towards the end or sort of halfway through. So I'm really sorry there's not a lot of footage for that one. These meals were designed to make when I wasn't there. Basically, that was the whole point of it, was that I was preparing them and I could throw it in a slow cooker and the kids would have some dinner so that they could dish up themselves. So for that, it's worked brilliantly. Excuse me, I do need to tweak some of the timings a little bit. I think I didn't listen, like this book that I got the recipes from, I think, you know, she said chop it up small. That would not have worked. Some of the chicken got overcooked as it was, and I now cut the pieces massive. I might actually just do whole chicken breast next time and shred the chicken, potentially. But as it turns out, portion wise, it did a really big 3 portions, or 4 normal size portions, and they worked really well. And I will be making them again, apart from the jambalaya, that first one. I won't make it again, I don't think. It really wasn't enjoyable enough, but I, however, will make that on stovetop for the kids. So thank you so much for watching. I know this is a long video and I really, really appreciate you watching, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.